All right, welcome back to that One Random Podcast Shorts. I'm Cypher.
I'm Treble.
Okay, we're going to react to this video where they're talking about lasers modifying the weather. So I'm going to just play it and then we'll give our take on it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah?
Chains yesterday, and now we're learning that scientists and researchers are looking at how to change the weather on purpose. That's right. Lasers now could one day manipulate rain and lightning. CBS This Morning contributor Michio Kaku is a physics professor at City College of New York. Professor, nice to see you. Extraordinary seeing Al Gore and Bill Clinton there together with Charlie, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
They did not get into this discussion, though. But it is fascinating. I mean, lasers, really? To change the weather?
That's right. Well, as Mark Twain once famously said, everyone complains about the weather, but no one ever does anything about it. Well, instead of doing a rain dance, we physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. This is potentially a game changer.
But this is experimental.
It's experimental. However, in the laboratory so far it works. When you have water vapor and you have dust particles or ice crystals, you can precipitate rain. It condenses around the seeds. These seeds can also be created by laser beams. By firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions, and these ions act like seeds, like dust particles, bringing down rain and even lightning. Go ahead.
Well, this fascinates me in part because, too, I remember reading the stories that China had used this during the Olympics, that the USSR had used this after Chernobyl to create rain clouds. I mean, did those really work then? We have some of these capabilities now?
Inconclusive. Even in the 60s, the CIA used this to bring down monsoons during the Vietnam War, to wash out the Viet Cong. Governments have been playing with this thing.
Alleged to.
Alleged to, right.
Yeah.
Now, we realize that for decades now, these governments have been alleged to have experimented with weather control, but nothing conclusive. This time we're bringing in the laws of physics rather than simply waving our hands and uttering mumbo jumbo. We're actually using trillion-watt lasers now. And in the laboratory, sure enough, they precipitate rain out of water vapor. Sure enough, you can actually bring down electricity down the beam.
So what does it mean for drought areas that need to have rain for crops? And if they don't have them, there's the consequences of famine.
Well, the bad news is if it's a clear blue sky, it's not going to do anything at all because it only takes water vapor that's already in the air and condenses it. However, for floods, for agriculture, farmers, for people planning wedding parties, football games, you name it, outdoor events and agriculture and flooding and even hurricanes, all of them could be subject to weather modification.
Incredibly interesting, Professor Michio Kaku. Thank you so much.
Ooh.
Go for it.
All right, that was deep. I think I had to giggle a little bit. Well, not giggle, but it was kind of just the when the news presenter had to kind of throw in the alleged, that it's not confirmed because obviously the Illuminati handlers might be saying, you can't actively admit that we are controlling the weather. Mm-hmm. So it's only allegedly, but, the more research you do, you know that frequency, weather manipulation and weather control is definitely something that they're doing and they are doing and they have been doing for a long time, whether that be through use of lasers or high frequency radiation.
And just for someone out there, people out there who think, no way they've got lasers they haven't got any lasers or anything like that, right? So this is just a headline article from our friends at the BBC News, yeah, right? Yeah, a government propaganda machine, yeah. All right, Dragonfire, yeah, UK laser could be used against Russian drones on Ukrainian front line, right? So it doesn't mean like lasers exist; they use it weaponry and all that sort of stuff. So just to give it some before some guy comes on here and says, you're talking about your backside.
No, I mean, if you really want to see the proof of it, look into HAARP. That's HAARP. Mm-hmm. That's the High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. They've got one in Wales. They've got one all over the world. And from those stations, they are using high frequency electrical radiation, whatever you want to call it, to manipulate the weather. And that's proven, you're not going to find it on your mainstream news, but you can find that stuff out there. Is it a good thing? I'm going to say no. This is borderlining, playing God almost, and we all know how that ends up. We saw what happened in Dubai
So let's play. Actually, you know what? Let's play a little footage from Dubai. Yeah.
So my understanding of what's happened here is that they were doing. Is there someone going to explain it? Or?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find that video. Here it is. So I'm going to play this video, and this is Dubai themselves explaining cloud seeding.
Yeah.
Right, so here we go, play it from the beginning.
The UAE government invested more than $20 million in research to start a process called cloud seeding. The UAE performs around 1,000 hours of cloud seeding a year, and it's all controlled by this building in the National Center of Meteorology in Abu Dhabi, where they track the whole process. We met with a cloud seeding expert to explain how the seeding process works.
We wait the forecast when we have a good, chance for a cloud. We send the aircraft to that location. Go under the cloud. In the first stage of the cloud, there is good updraft at that time. Start to release all the salt, and with the good updraft, of course, it will go inside the cloud. The droplets will become bigger and start to rain.
The center manufactures a salt substance that helps enhance rainfall. They put them in what they call flares. This is a sample plane here at the National Center of Meteorology, but the real planes fly out from the runways in Al Ain.
Operation 219.
We also spoke to one of the weather forecasters. He explains how the operations work.
We align our pilots to be on the airports and tell them when to be at the airport. So as expected, we wait for the clouds to appear on the radar, and there we have our pilots talking to us. Let me know if there is any updrafts in your area.
Is it going to rain in Dubai today? Just so I know. I have to drive back from Abu Dhabi to Dubai.
No.
It's not raining. It's a sunny day.
Okay, so she's put a bit of
Just a joke to it, kind of
Good
like
thing,
make
but-
it lighthearted. But look, the reality is, and we saw that Gotham video, if you want to play that in the background, was that they decided to do some cloud seeding, encourage rainfall when rain was already expected. And as a result, you've now doubled the amount of rainfall and flooded the whole city, wiped out the electricity. Whether that was accidental or planned is you decide. A lot of things that on the surface is accidental are actually still being orchestrated at the higher dimensional levels. But look, man, weather manipulation has been something that's been going on for a long time.
I mean, you got
now.
to remember, cloud seeding started in 1946, so it's not something that they've hidden. They have talked about that. They've done it. Yeah, 'Cause I know some joker's going to jump on our comment section and say, "Oh, but cloud seeding is happening. So it's not something it's not a secret."
They're not
But,
hiding
yeah,
it.
okay, whatever. Yeah, okay, but it doesn't change the fact that there are many ways that they are controlling the weather. Now, we've seen an increase in wildfires around the world, right?
Yeah.
And they're pushing hard the climate change agenda
Yeah.
at the moment. You look at what happened in Hawaii, right? But let's use this as an example. Everything got burnt down except for Oprah's house.
That's
So the fire says,
suspicious.
"Stop! It's Oprah's house.
That's
Go around it."
suspicious, isn't it?
Yeah, that's suspicious. And hence why I showed you that article of the laser shooting downwards, which was a military weapon. So how do you know that they're not using that to create these wildfires? And if you have these wildfires and you have the ability to create rain, why wouldn't you use that when you have these wildfires, if they are natural wildfires, to put out the fires by creating rain?
Chaos. They want chaos. But yeah, that's
There's a lot of questions there.
a
you
lot
know?
of questions. But you sound like a conspiracy theorist now, mate.
I'm a conspiracy researcher.
Yeah,
Jog
it's
on.
fact, isn't it?
No,
No, seriously though,
though.
it's
Give me my
ridiculous.
tinfoil hat any day, though. I'll
Yeah.
wear it proudly.
It's crazy. The information is out there, guys. Do open your eyes, do some research, because only until the knowledge is starting to be spread and people start waking up can we start
Just
to.
don't be afraid, man. Don't be afraid to think outside of the box.
Yeah,
Yeah, stop going with everyone else. Stop being a sheep and actually just use your own brain.
Innit?
Use the brain God gave you.
Yeah.
If it doesn't sound right or something sounds weird, or that doesn't look
Probably
right,
is,
isn't that
yeah.
a way you could do
if
this
it
and
looks
that?
suspicious,
Do you know what I mean?
probably is.
Stop thinking the way they've programmed you to think and actually open up your mind,
Yeah.
is what I would say. Anything else you want to add?
No, yeah, just weather manipulation is a real thing. I don't think it's for the better. I think they're going to use it to create chaos. They're pushing the climate, as you said, they're pushing the climate agenda.
Oh, hold on. Let me
This is
play
the
this
only
thing
way.
about Thunberg.
Go for it,
Oh,
yeah.
little Thunberg there.
Oh,
right.
yeah, that little puppet.
The little actress.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will say actress, and that might piss you lot off because it's now supposed to, everyone's an actor, right? No, no. Actress, actor. Yeah, but here we go. Let's play what she's saying in this one. Just listen closely.
What I can policy God, if he rang you up and said, Greta, what should I do? What I can wave a presidential magic wand, executive order. What should I do that I'm not? What would you say to him?
Well, nothing, because that's not democratic. An elected leader cannot do anything without support from voters, and I would not want anyone to do anything that would not have the support, because that would be undemocratic, and democracy is the most precious thing that we have, and we must not risk that. So I would just tell him to tell the situation as it is. Since the climate crisis doesn't exist, how can we expect people to want climate action?
That's a fair point.
Since the climate crisis doesn't exist, since the climate crisis doesn't exist, since the climate crisis doesn't exist.
Honestly, the climate change is the biggest scam. Like that's what it was all been building up to, isn't it? That's the one thing that they, because like once you, I know we're not going to really talk too much about the 1920 era, but you know, once that perceived threat of a virus is no longer scary, what's something that people can still be scared of forever, and that's the world's going to end because of a climate threat, or the climate, you know, this is something that is a threat that won't go away. And so they're going to ride that one hard.
But the way she just slipped out of her mouth there.
Yeah, fraudulent slip.
Like, and some people might say, well, you guys are reaching now a little bit. Maybe she just made a mistake and muddled up with the words. Oh, yeah, you could give her the benefit of that. But she didn't seem like she was lost in what she was saying, or confused in what she was saying. Yeah, it is what it is. Look, end of the day, look, leave us your comments.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear from everyone. Got any links? Share them with us. We'll react to them, of course.
Tell us your thoughts.
As always, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, we out.
Peace.